What if it may be something unforgivable in the eyes of some? I'm so glad you asked that question. Let's address the true core meaning of what it means to confess and forgive. In order for us to understand what true confession and forgiveness truly means, we must redress the way that we think about it. These are mechanisms. They're like switches or releases. They're like buttons that you push. They are not free passes. So when you talk about confessing, it's more truth telling. By releasing the confession, you are releasing the truth and you are absolving your heart of holding the guilt of whatever the deception may be. And that acts as a trigger to release you. If you are on the confession side and you need to get something off of your chest and tell the truth, it's just a matter of releasing that information and telling it no matter what, accepting the consequences of your actions, whatever those actions may be. People may be upset, people may be mad, and there also may be repercussions and consequences to suffer as a result of your confession. However, you confessing it releases it from the burden of your heart, making it light as a feather. You suffer your consequences, and then you can work on your own redemption. Forgiveness is more of a mechanism of release. It's more about you than it is the other person. It has absolutely nothing to do with giving that person a free pass and just allowing them to ride off into the sunset and feel as though they got over on you. It's more for you not harboring resentment and pain. When a person does something to you willfully and they hurt you intentionally, right? Or unintentionally, our job is to look at that individual for whatever their condition is and allow them to be in that condition. There's always circumstances that cause a person to do a thing, and it's not our place to judge necessarily what those conditions are. A person could have past trauma, a person could have their own soul encoding that make them inherently somewhat evil. However, that is their condition, and that has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's not my fault that they are who they are. And it's my job, in order to release myself, I am not to carry the burden of their errors in my heart. I move on and let go of whatever that is in my heart. And I can do so because I know that the light is coming. I'm going home no matter what. I'm going to be free of the pain that you caused, and all my tears will be wiped away when we get to this part where we cross the threshold into the light. So I'm not worried about what your condition was and what your condition is, and whether or not you yourself can clear your own karmic debt and the things that you cause. That's a you problem, not a me problem. So I release you from any of those things that you've done, and I am releasing myself in essence to be free of it. As a decoder, as someone who is integral in the process of this judgment, and someone who is sitting at the middle, clocking every single number and looking at the karmic ledger to do an audit of all the light errors that have been committed in the world, okay? I am conducting an audit in this moment, and I see the massive orchestration that has been done against the children of light, against the light grid, to move the energy, to move the photon light in a certain negative direction to benefit a select group of people. As someone who sees that massive web, I have to turn around and say, you know what? With all that orchestration, I'm letting it go, because I'm not going to allow any of that to hinder me from where I'm going. And I know that is something that had to be done because of how powerful my light is. As the children of light, you have to expect that you wrestle not against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities in high places. And there's going to be a massive orchestration because of the light that you bring in, who you are. I expect everything that was done to me. Obviously, it had to be done because someone with so much light and so much power, they have to work doubly hard to suppress that. So yes, I'm releasing you. You want to know why? Because you had to go through all those great lengths to do what you did in order for you to harm me because of the being that I am. And on a higher level in my ascension, I'm not going to allow that orchestration to stand in the way of me getting to the kingdom of light. That is why we release. That is why we forgive, and that is why we confess. And when we carry that energy, that means that it maintains power over me. So the things that I've had done to me in the past, if I keep rehashing that pain and not releasing it and understanding that those people had a condition, it's not my place to determine what that condition was. It's my place to acknowledge, yes, you were in a condition. Big whoop de doo. Let it go and move on, because I have a greater task. I am a child of the light. This was my karmic lesson, or these were my lessons within Earth School. And it's time for me to ascend beyond the lower frequencies. So letting go is a mechanism of release. It has absolutely nothing to do with you absolving them of guilt. That's a them problem, not a you problem. When the solar flash happens, it's going to be a light judgment, meaning that if your energy frequency is not within the heart chakra, the green energy, my odds balance, where Ma is at, which is love, which is forgiveness, which is confession, you will not be an energetic match for that light. So in order for me to move past that, I have to balance my light. I could care less about what you do with yours. I release you from whatever your condition was and why you decided to harm me. As a matter of fact, I am converting my hatred and my anger into pity, because anyone who can harm a child of light is pitiful, in my opinion. And I'm looking at your condition and I'm having mercy on you, because you are in a very sorry, lowly condition to do the things that you did. So I release you for being so lowly and pitiful. It's not for me to judge and hold on to those things like I am the ultimate judge, like I have to give redemption. It's for that person to go to the light and for the light to judge them. And if they don't make it past that point, then there is your answer. I hope you enjoyed this message. Peace, love, and light.